fazem processo seletivo, sabe? Então talvez seja um jogo tipo o jogo que eu fiz no outro processo seletivo da Whirlpool, que você tem que ir tomando decisões. Ela foi isso, você tem que tomar decisões da empresa. E aí no fim não tem decisão certa ou errada, e no fim você tem um resultado. Só que não vou nem pensar nesse jogo, vou parar de pensar nesse jogo.
Good day. Can everyone hear me?
Yes,
okay, guys. Good day or good evening, everyone, depending on where you are in the world. A special greeting to those international students who are in Milan. Stay strong. Okay, today we are here. We are meeting around a topic that is pervasive. We are talking about the coronavirus health emergency. It's about time for us to meet and answer all the questions that you may have. What we will do, we would like to make this session like a weekly meeting where you can bring up all the topics that you would like to discuss. You can propose on a weekly basis different topics, but also the most important thing is that we share information on all the measures that are implemented, because the situation is evolving very, very fast. What we will cover today is also what to do in case of emergency. So what I want to tell you is, first of all, that today I can say that our student community is all healthy, so everyone should stay healthy, and we will look into it as well. I'm going to share some slides. Let me open them. Sorry, guys. Here we are. Can you see them? Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, so what we will do, I will give you this small presentation, and then we take the questions later on. So you might want to silence your microphone, and then at the end you can ask your question in the chat, or if you would like to participate, you're very, very welcome to say that, to write that, and we'll give you the stage. Okay. So as I said, no one ever thought the situation would get to this point, with everyone locked up in their homes, in their apartment. Okay. So in Milan, as in many cities around the world, unfortunately. So in Milan, we need to fill out a form printed from the government's website to declare that we are going out for a specific need. Okay, this is possibly going to be the same everywhere in the world, because this is a pandemic. So unfortunately, we need to come to terms to this, and our freedom is being rediscussed altogether. So what is important is that we keep up to date. So we always need to look at the World Health Organization website. Those who are in Italy, we need to really follow the news basically on a daily basis, and the press. And of course, each embassy will be able to guide you as well as concerning what's going on in the country where you're from, okay? What's our hope? Our hope is that we can go back to normality as soon as possible. So we cannot say when this will happen, of course, but we have a hope when we look at China, we look at South Korea or Singapore. So we are not sure we are all ready. We have, we are ready and in the mindset and materially to implement the same measure that have been implemented, for instance, in China, but we have to be prepared possibly to new measures, more restrictive measures. In Italy, so what's the key phrase that is going around is stay at home. We need to stay at home. All the services, the basic services are guaranteed. What does it mean? That food shops, supermarkets, so grocery is guaranteed. So we don't need to rush to do big shoppings. And pharmacies will stay always open. Public transport is guaranteed. And all the major services like banking, public offices, they are open only for emergency services. For instance, the municipality of Milan, the only office that is open is the central one in Via Larga and so on. So the national data, I don't know if you know, every evening at 6 p.m. You can see the news, of course, in Italian. And they have a bulletin of what's going on. So basically, they present data, and we can see whether the containment is working or not, depending on the curve of infections. And the last 2 days, we had a little bit of improvement, which it's very good in a way, because it's around 2 weeks from, sorry, my phone is going. It's around 2 weeks from the implementation of the major measures. At MIP, what's going on? MIP is running, as you know, but running in two senses. I mean, running means that everything is going on and all the services, we are trying to adjust them to the new situation. So you have to be patient. For instance, I'm talking about the International Students Office. We are also experimenting new ways to be close to you, and every input from your side will be very, very welcome. So we are distant, but we are on hand. Basically, you can use the same contacts that you used to use before the coronavirus situation, and we will reply to you, okay? Okay, this is for students in Italy. This is very important information in case of emergency. Don't worry, we will make this information available to everyone, and we will put it on our website and possibly on your platform, or we can send it via mail to you as well. So we have some national numbers. So this number 1500, this is the number of the Ministry of Health. This number should be used for general information. So if you have a question about governmental provisions, recommendation on how to protect yourself, symptoms, what could be the symptoms, when do you need to isolate yourself, or when do you need to be in quarantine. So this is the national number. Then the Lombardy region has health emergency number, which is a toll-free number 800-894-545. You might want to write this in your phone. This is a dedicated number for all health-related question. What does it mean? You call this number if you think you have contracted the virus, for instance, or if you have a bad dry cough, you have a bad, you have flu symptoms. So you call this number, and the operator will ask a number of questions, and they will assess your situation and redirect you to the right person, or will tell you what are the measures, what are the next steps. Okay. I call this number. They have people who speak English, but you might need to ask them. You might need to say, parla inglese, do you speak English? Or I need someone to speak English, and they will redirect you. The number 112 is the emergency number for instance, to call an ambulance, but it's very, very important that this is not abused, this number. So you call this number only if you really need immediate assistance, and you need an ambulance. Otherwise, you call the other number before. If you have a GP, this is for students who have enrolled in the national healthcare system, you call your GP first if you have symptoms. Okay, and they will assess your situation. There's also another number that you can call. This is on-call doctor, is the doctor that is always available during the weekends as well. And this is 800-193-344. So these are the main numbers to call in case you have symptoms, basically. Okay. So as I mentioned before, the situation is evolving very, very fast. We had new measures in place, for instance, starting Sunday night. So it's very important that we read what's going on. It could be a good idea to do it at least on a weekly basis. So we have some sites here. As I said before, we will make them available to everyone. So the Lombardy region has updated information. As you know, the Lombardy region is particularly affected. So measures could be even stricter than they are in Italy. So it's important to read. The Civil Protection Agency is the agency that gives the bulletin on a daily basis at 6 p.m. in the news. They have also a very useful website in English. And then, of course, the World Health Organization. This ANSA, this is the National Press Agency. If you want to see also what's going on, how the situation is depicted in other countries as well. And then the Italian Ministry of Health has a website. Currently, it's only in Italian. But as I said, whatever information you would like us to translate, or if it's something is unclear, we can discuss this together in the next session, or we can in the meantime write in the mail, or we find the best way together to convey information. Okay. So very, very shortly, what are your obligations under the measures, particularly in Italy? One phrase, you stay home. Basically, you don't have freedom of movement and assembly any longer, you need to stay home. So running, biking is not allowed any longer, no social gathering. You can go out for grocery shopping and purchasing medicines only, basically. Or if you have impellent need to go, you need to visit a friend, for instance, that is unwell, or you need to go shopping for a friend, okay? This could be a necessity. you need to make sure you access the site of the Ministry of Interior Affairs and download the self-certification form. They have a new one now where you need to declare not only that that you have a very special need to go out, you need to also insert, okay, I'm moving from this address to this other address. So it's very important that you have this form with you when you go out, even when you go out shopping, because now streets are patrolled and you can be stopped. And if you go out without an impelling need, okay, this is a criminal offense. So it's very important that we abide to these rules for our safety. Okay, the recommendations are, I can say, no panic, but of course it's not easy to cope with the situation sometimes. And it's everywhere, unfortunately, in the world. So we need to come to terms somehow, and we need to ask for help as well. If you're very welcome to ask for help if you think this is too much for me, okay? You are safe as long as you stay home, basically. You try to avoid as much as possible contacts with other people. And you keep the distance at least 1 meter. You wash your hands very often. You use alcohol-based disinfectants if possible. You keep your apartment, your room very clean.
Ah, sí. Hay otra cosa, mira.
I cannot hear. Hello. Someone said something, but I couldn't understand.
We can go on.
We go on, okay? Okay. So you don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with your hands after you've been out. You have touched, maybe you've been on the metro, you have touched the handrails. It's very important that you don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth before you have actually washed your hands. Very, very careful. You cover your mouth and nose when sneezing or coughing. Don't take drugs unless they are prescribed by your doctor. Antibiotics, they don't work, unfortunately. These are the basic recommendations for your health. So students outside of Italy, every country might have different measures, so you follow the instruction of your local government. That's, of course, no need to say that. If you want to come back to Italy, okay, it's not possible now, first of all, but it's important that you contact the Italian embassy in the country where you are, but you can also, and you have to write to us if you intend to re-enter, okay? You write to us with any question you may have. Okay, we take now some frequently asked questions. We have this one, for instance, that we receive very, very often. Will the teaching activity be online after the emergency? Okay, after the emergency, we will keep the online options available, at least for some time, okay? If you have more questions about this, or if you want to go into deep, you can do that later on in the question and answer when it's time for questions and answers. Okay, is it possible to leave Italy? First of all, it's not recommended, okay, because everyone is recommended, this is in the word, to stay where you are. Otherwise, you risk to spread the virus in other countries. A lot of young people like you have no symptoms, might have contracted the virus, but have no symptoms. If you need to leave for any justified, okay, sorry for the mistake here, reason, you need to contact the embassy in Italy first, okay? Can I move in Europe? It's not recommending, okay? It's not recommended for the same reason I said before. And the other thing is every country has restrictive measures. As a rule, you can move to another country only if you go back to your domicile, basically, which would not be the case for our students here, for most of our students here. You should know that external borders are closed until the 16th of April. Okay. Very importantly, Italy bans moving out of the city where you are domiciled. So you cannot even go to Bergamo, for instance, for Milan. You're supposed to stay in Milan. Okay. Can I enter Italy and how? This is another frequently asked question that we receive. We don't know at this stage. We will share any update as well. Okay, if you need to re-enter, we had some students say, I really need to re-enter. Okay, you need to write to us and we can discuss this together. Okay, what will happen with the Italian permit of stay application? Okay. Some students have not finished their permit of stay procedure. Do not worry, because we are in contact with the immigration office, and as soon as the situation improves, we will contact them again and we ask them to guide us as to what can be done and how. Okay. So for the moment, I can tell you that all permit procedures have been suspended for 30 days, so until after Easter at least. We will keep you up to date. Okay, now it's time for us to take your questions and we will try to answer them. So you're very welcome to write in the chat and tell us what you would like to discuss. Tell us all your question. If you would like to speak, just tell us and we give you the word. Okay. Any questions so far, Shishi? Any questions?
Sorry, I forgot. Yes, there's one question from Imlax.
Yes.
Recently, we are under the special occasion to carry out the semester. And currently, I'm in China to continue my course online. As you know, the Board of Directors of European Union and Italy government has announced some abandon the ban to control the situation. I would like to know more accurate information about import rules up to now. Some news said that Italian government shut down the border until the 3rd of April, and some said European Union has blocked the border. So it would be helpful if you can provide us some correct information for us to adjust our schedule in time.
Okay, I can tell you that, yes, our external borders of Europe are shut, I think, until the 16th of April. So anyone who wants to come in Europe, you can't, unless you are returning to your domicile, like you're returning home. So, for instance, if you're a citizen of Italy and you're outside, you would be allowed to come in, but you would need to contact the embassy of the Italian embassy in the country where you are now to arrange for you to enter Italy. And I'm sure it's the same in most countries world now. So if you're from India, would like to back, yeah, you will need to make contact with your consulate or embassy in Italy and find out how this is possible. Okay. Any other questions?
There's a
I cannot hear you, Shishi.
Sorry. There's another question about the residency. Does it have the same measure as the permesso di soggiorno?
Okay, residency, as I said, the municipality is open for online services, while for face-to-face, it's only the office in Via Larga that is open. So everything that can be done online, you can continue to do online. You know, with the residency procedure, like an official from the municipality is supposed to come out and check that you actually live at the address you have indicated. This will not happen for the time being, but the rule would be that after 45 days that you have submitted your application, if you don't hear anything, it means that your application has gone through. But you would need to double check this as well by contacting the municipality. You can even do it online, I mean by phone. They have this number 020202, and you can inquire about the status of your application. And if this is necessary for you, you write a mail to us and we will guide you in details.
Okay, there's another question generally about the rent. Okay, one student asking, like, I'm paying a huge amount of money from the rent. Could you guide me if I should let go my apartment or I need to come back? And so also, something related to the rent. The rent is that, is there any information about the rent or deduction due to the situation?
Okay, there is no governmental indication as to what's happening to the rent, to the contracts that have been rental contracts, basically. Not yet, at least. So it means if you have signed a rental contract, you should abide to the contract. Okay, of course, in this situation, what we have asked our grid providers is to mediate with the owner and see what can be done in case the student needs to leave the apartment or has left the apartment and is now abroad. How can they basically stop paying their rent? Okay, but unfortunately, there's no law giving as yet that provides for this specific situation. Okay, so the contract that has been signed is still valid.
Okay. I would like to add something to answer my 3 questions, because she's also asking if they can be requested to come back anytime soon. So for the moment, we need to, in terms of regular activity at the MIP, for the moment, we need to follow the restriction of the government. That means that we cannot have any activities face-to-face in Lombardy until half of April. And this is the only official indication that we have. Anyhow, we are aware that several of you came back to their own countries as you presented. So as soon as we will be able to open again, we will be allowed to do this, we will start again classes face-to-face. But anyhow, we know that we cannot ask you to suddenly to come back from one day to another. So until the end of the semester, we will give to those of you that want to attend anyhow classes online the opportunity to do it. So the indication is obviously we need to strictly follow the indications of the government and no possibility to change this. Until the moment, mandatory to be just online until half of April. We don't know whether this is going to be extended or not. As soon as we will be able to come back face-to-face, we will do it. But anyhow, until the end of the semester, we will give to those of you that want to keep attending just online the opportunity to do it.
Okay. And there's another question regarding permanent stay, like for those who are being outside of Italy. Like, is it possible to come back and because they obviously have missed the appointment to visit the police station?
Okay, most of you would have the Italian visa, which is valid, Or, for instance, inland students would have a valid French visa. Okay, so they would be able to return and to enter Italy on those documents alone. And then we take it from there. As I said, we would contact the immigration office and seek guidance from them. Those who are outside of Italy and need to re-enter, depending on your masters, like we will look at each situation individually. So we would be able possibly to support a new entry visa, a new visa application, or a re-entry visa application. Okay.
Okay.
So we will find a way. Of
Another-
course, you'll be able to re-enter depending on on your masters, on the length of your masters, and what activities are still open.
Another question is about the degree. Like someone might decide to continue the online course. The question is the degree will be the same value of the masters if they continue online.
Okay, I think that I can answer for that. The answer is absolutely yes. The reason why we decided to start online immediately, just one day after, and we are keeping as much as we can things online is exactly for that reasons. The value of your master is not going to be impacted at all, and there is not written at all on your degree that this was taken with a huge part online. So feel safe in terms of the value that you have because you keep exactly the same contents and as much as it is possible the same experience, so the value is not impacted.
Okay. Another question about Tesla Sanitaria. Someone has applied before the situation and but haven't received yet.
Okay, those who have applied for it, basically, when you apply for it, you get a piece of paper with the indication of your number or the doctor that you have chosen. So that is enough for the time being. Okay, it gives you the opportunity, gives you all the rights to see your GP and to receive medical assistance within the national healthcare system. I can tell you that even those who did not enroll in the national healthcare system, you have to be, I can tell you, you will receive assistance anyway. In case of emergency, you will get the same assistance as those who have enrolled. So do not worry about this.
Another question about Flex EMBA is that there is any delay of online lecture for iFlex or EMBA program?
There is no delay at all, Atsushi, in the online classes for International Flex EMBA, and also it's the same for all of the other programs. These were already planned online, so not worry that there is no delay at all for the online classes. They are as scheduled.
Okay, someone is asking, according to the information that we have, how do we see the situation? Do you think we will be able to back to Milan or school by May?
So this is a quite challenging question, Silvia, that it's hard to reply. What I can tell you is that for now, the block is until half of April, and that in the last couple of days, the number are decreasing. So the situation is becoming better and better. I hope so that in May we will be able to be back in school at least for some activities, networking activities or small group activities, but this is just our perception on the basis of the current data that the government provided to us. The reality is that we need to see how the situation is evolving in the next months, in the next days, in the next weeks, and for that we will be back as soon as possible.
Okay. There's another question about internship. What do you think about it? Do you think the country will be accepting international students after the situation?
So the internship currently, just to take the advantage of Sharon question is our priority. So we are really working a lot with companies to convince them and start providing internship to all of you, maybe initially online, just to start the activities and to transform this in face-to-face as soon as possible. Obviously, some companies are struggling, but I can tell you that we have several of them that are willing to keep the collaborations anyhow, and so we don't have any signs that after these situations, companies will not accept any more international students. So they are remaining as it is.
Okay. And there's another question. It's quite hard to answer, might be, because someone is asking about the visiting company activities, like since it's a part of the program and now they have no chance to continue with it. So do you think it's possible to compensate the students?
So the fact that an online master doesn't have the same value or of face-to-face one actually is not. The value is the same, the teaching activity is the same, and the opportunities to get in contact with some companies is the same. What we are planning to organize is, as soon as we are able to go back in campus, that it might be before the end of your graduations, that it might be May, June, July, and also September, we will try to recover most of the activities that we were not able to manage. So to organize some days with company speakers or to arrange several company visits in order to give you back the part of the experience that cannot be exploited online. And because we know that teaching can be run online, but obviously there is a matter of networking in this sense, and so we will try to give you opportunities as soon as it's possible. Also, if this is going to be right after the graduation, it doesn't matter. We will organize moments to give you the opportunities to get in contact with companies, company speakers, or company visit to compensate with this missing part.
Okay. And there's another question for Sarah, like, is it possible to enroll into the national healthcare system now for this during this period?
Okay, I think it is. I actually, you have to give me some time. I need to double check. I will need to call basically the different offices to find out who is open and if they are open or not. Apparently, I mean, as far as I know, they should guarantee the essential services, and I would say this is one of them. So I will need to make some phone calls and see what office is open, and then I will tell you. Okay.
Okay.
I can answer Victor questions. The reply is the same. We gave you the part of the bootcamp experience that was manageable online. We gave you online in order to keep on going with the activities. As soon as it will be possible, we will organize some days in face-to-face on campus in order to have also the interactive part and the experiential part of the bootcamps that you cannot have in face-to-face, as well as the interactions with activities with companies.
Okay. I think most of them have already raised up the question that they might have. We can give another 1 minute if there's no more new questions. We can maybe Sarah has something to announce. We have the session like regularly, like, but we haven't decided the date yet. Maybe.
Yeah, so we will make this like a weekly appointment, and at this stage we're thinking to do it every Monday morning or Monday around 12. So we have to double check what are your online classes and make sure that everyone, especially this session is especially open to students in Milan. To everyone, of course, but we feel students in Milan would need to be in contact with us a little bit more. So we double check first your availability according to your classes, online classes, and then we'll be able to confirm the next session within a couple of days.
Okay. There's another question for Professor Moretto. Like, are some elective week will be postponed?
So we are, for the moment, what we are postponing are the elective weeks, the international elective weeks when there are constraints, physical constraints to bring you abroad. So in this moment, this is the only activities that we are postponing, and this could happen also after the end of September. Our purpose was to allow you to graduate with the deadline that you had, because we really thought that the worst thing for you was to postpone the moment that you were able to enter in the job market. This is the reason why we are doing the best that we can to help you in graduating within the deadline. In terms of postponing elective week, obviously we will try to recover all that we can on the basis of the physical constraints within the date of the graduation, because I know that after that you need to start working and that you might work all around the world. We are completely aware of these constraints, and this is the reason why we try to recover as much as we can when we can. If for international reasons this might be not possible, it could happen. It could happen that something is going to go beyond the graduations. There are services that we want to keep anyhow for you beyond the graduations. The graduation is a moment that it's fundamental to allow you to start working, but for some other services and some other kind of support, I just make an example. If some of you need some support to get an internship, we are not going to stop at the graduation, because we want to help you in exploiting as much as you can anyhow, independently to the terrible situations that all of us is living, the most of the value from your masters. We know that you did a huge investments, and we want to support you in getting the maximum benefits from this investment anyhow.
Okay. We are not receiving any new questions. I will say, I think for today, the question answer section is, we can end it here.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
there's one more question. Like how we will be able to take care of the exams?
Okay, so in taking care of the exams, we are organizing in order to be able to do all of the exams online. There is a procedure that we have been established at the level of Polytechnico, full university, and not simply MIP, to be able to allow you to take the exams and not having any impact in terms of quality of these exams. About the Easter holidays, there will be the standard break related to Friday and Monday. So these days that are official holidays, obviously, will remain considered as holidays.
Okay.
I just would like to about all of these questions, I just would like to remember you something that Sarah told you before. In case that you have any doubts, all of the kind of contacts that you're used to have with the school remains valid. So don't scare you for that. Obviously, in face-to-face, it is easier to knock at a door and to enter in an office, maybe to talk with people. Nowadays, it's not possible to knock the door physically. You can do virtually, but we want to remain at your disposal to help you with your doubts anyhow. So let's try to do as much as we can as if we were in class, normally in class.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not possible. The program is one. The program is one, and this is the program that you are enrolling. Now we take into consideration how much you have already done. I can see that maybe nowadays you don't see so much the value of the online classes. You are scary, you're not happy. I can perfectly understand this. Bearing in mind that this is the direction that all of the universities around the world are facing, as nowadays we are not able to know when the situation is able to recover. So in try to, we will do our best to give you the value as much as we can also online. Try to do your best to exploit this part, because this is the direction that all of the universities all around the world are taking, are following. In case that we will give you the possibility to attend again the courses that you want for free, obviously, next year again face-to-face. So if you have these doubts, rather than stop the master, given that you are willing to delay on the basis of what you say, my suggestion is finish this and think about what you want to try and do again next year. You will be just welcome in our school.
Okay.
Yes.
Any more questions? Last minute question? No.
Yes. Yes. We just remind you that we will have this session carried out like regularly. So the situation might change, and either in China, in Italy, or in any other country where you are. So you might have some new question to bring it up. So we want to just to share the information with you that we are here. Like MIP, the International Student Office, are always available as it before. So nothing changed. If you want to talk with us and have any new questions, just come to us. We are available all the time.
Okay, so we can say goodbye now, and we'll tell you very soon when the next session will be. You are very welcome to send us mails with any topics you would like to discuss and bring up. If any of you would like to present anything, they're also welcome to do so. And we will make some frequently asked questions available on our website and in your platform. And we will send the mail, probably via mail, probably the emergency numbers to all students who are in Milan now. So thank you very much for being with us today. And we talk again very, very soon. Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.